Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be building the Idobao ID80 Crystal gasket mounted keyboard. I believe this was ordered from Drop. This is a commission build from actually a streamer that goes by the name of Pathmic. That's P-A-T-H-M-I-C. He's one of my homies, and I'm just glad that I was able to build this for him. So what's cool about this, it comes with like a nice parts box if you wanted to like sort stuff out, and it's really interesting. This version of the ID80 Crystal comes with a brass plate and it has a silicone gaskets. This is the version 2 of this board, and I'll go into detail of what that means later. This bundle or kit comes also with an acrylic wrist rest to just match the already nice translucent board as well. So what's included obviously is it's a hot swap board. It's acrylic case all around, so top and bottom housing. There's a brass plate. You get that nice acrylic wrist rest. And just for the specs of the board, just really quickly, it's just a nice 75% board that kind of rivals, you know, something close to like a GMMK, even the Q1. So there's been a lot of hype around 75% lately, and this is no exception. It has south-facing LEDs. It's hot swap, per key RGB and underglow, 6-degree typing angle, and just to get some of the specs out the way. It's very comfortable to type on as well. So the problem that I kind of had while building this board is the difference between the version 1 and version 2 of the ID80. On some websites, you know, most notably idobao.net, when you're ordering new plates or different plates like polycarb, brass, or even aluminum, it'll give you the option of the new or old. Not really version 1, version 2. I just kind of made that because it's a little easier to say. So the one we're working with now is the version 2. The difference is that the silicone gaskets on the version 2 there's more in quantity and they're shorter versus the version 1 where the silicone gaskets are actually longer, and there's obviously few of them. So here is just kind of the process of putting the silicone gaskets in. I used a pair of tweezers to just kind of push them down. My fingers didn't work to push them down and make them nice and flush. So I wanted to make sure that they all fit in there snugly. Here we disassembled the PCB plate and also the foam. The foam comes stock, but we ordered a new one from Idobao's website themselves to just see if it was any different than the stock foam that comes with the case. Today's stabilizers we're going to be using are the Dirac V2s in a smoky gray housing colorway. You know, you can't go wrong with Dirac V2s, probably the best screw-ins on the market, in my personal opinion. And like we always do, we always go ahead and lube these with 205G0 on the inner housings, the stems, which are pre-clipped, and we're going to also put 205 on the wires this time, and not dielectric grease. Just wanted to see the difference between dielectric grease and 205G0, just to see if it was any better, any worse. And I think it's just as smooth in my personal opinion, but just having 205 all around just makes the consistency present. So to each their own, of course, but 205 is a little bit expensive for some people, and dielectric grease is kind of easier to come by. So again, either one works. I think they're both just as good, but for this build we just had 205 all around. So since this is a 75%, you just have 3 2Us and 1 625, just like normal, and these are screw-in. So these are going to screw directly into the PCB with those red washers that you see and those black screws. So now that everything's on there, we're going to go ahead and start off putting everything back together. First we put in the plate foam that was ordered also online by Idobao's website. Comparing it to the stock one, I would say that it's a little bit more firm and would make a little bit more of a muted sound profile. The stock one was a little bit more flexible and it had a lot more cutouts, so you know, whether you wanted to spend that extra $10 on plate foam is up to you. The board is actually held together by not too many screws. It's 8 on the bottom and screws directly to the top, so it's kind of like a gasket sandwich kind of mount. And with the brass plate, there's really no flex at all. Today we're going to be using the Invokeys Matcha Latte linears. These are very nice long pole stem switches that have a nice clack to them. Whenever you press down, you kind of just look for friction or scratchiness, and then when you kind of bottom out like I did earlier, you're kind of looking for that spring ping or leaf ping. And this, honestly, stock is amazing on its own, but I do recommend lubing and filming them as well. Here we're going to be looking at a sound test of them stock and then lubed and filmed with 205 G0 and 105 on the springs. Take a listen. Also, the keycaps used today are EBPT Shadow. So the brass plate wasn't my favorite, so we're going to go ahead and switch it out with the polycarb case that we also ordered on Idobao. And this is the newer version, as you can see by those holes on the bottom where the gaskets meet. And that was the difference between the version 1 and version 2. So we're going to be taking a listen to them lubed and filled on the polycarb plate, as well as some Aquakings. So personally, I like the PC plate a lot better than the brass. The brass is a little too heavy and not enough flexy for me. As well as the Aquakings, it's a shorter pull stem, so it bottoms out a little bit more with the travel. Either way, I think the basic aesthetic of this board is definitely the acrylic case and the RGB shine through, so definitely something that I would recommend if you're looking for this specific aesthetic. So if you liked the video, thank you again for sticking on to the end. Again, I'm still trying to pump up more and more videos for you guys, and trying to finally get to 500 subs so I can communicate with you guys through the community tab on YouTube. So yeah, if you liked the video, please give it a like, comment down below what you guys thought, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.